Welcome to the Humanity Leadership Podcast, where we tackle your toughest leadership challenges and share practical tools to help you lead with impact. Welcome to this episode, and this is another part of our What Great Teams Do Great Issues series. I'm David Wheatley. All of the issues use our What Great Teams Do Great model, which is available at humanity.com or in the book of the same name. Each issue is presented with suggested actions to get on the path to team greatness. This issue is that the team isn't bought into the goals that the organization wants them to adopt. Several team members have voiced their concerns about whether the goals are realistic. So we hear this all the time, that the organization's going in a direction and it becomes apparent that there's a lack of buy-in, and a lot of that buy-in is around the fact that we don't believe it's even feasible to get there. So the first step is to engage the team in an open conversation about the organization's targets. So once more, we're going to be in a caring, honest, and direct conversation. And we're going to engage to understand on both sides, why is the organization pushing this? Exactly what are they pushing? And what are the obstacles that are seen by the team? Let's get them out on the table. Second thing is be realistic and transparent. Don't try to sugarcoat the situation. Be honest about what is real, what's fact, and what's supposition or opinion. Let's get the reality out on the table. Quite often, this sense of we can't do that, we don't have the resources, all those things are just those feelings. And with the right people is saying, okay, let's attack this from a perspective of how could we do this? What would it look like for us actually to tackle this? And it's not just a matter of adding more resources. Let's get creative. Let's see what we can do to actually attack this and see how far we can get. And the third thing is to think SEMA. And you may, if you're familiar with Humanity, have heard SEMA before, but it realigns the team to focus on where they have control, where they have influence, and what aspects they might be able to mitigate the impact of, and then everything else that's left in the accept bucket. So if I just look at those again, where they have control, that's usually over their actions and their opinions, what they're putting forward, what they're doing. Where do they have influence? This is usually in key relationships. Are there key relationships that they can influence, or we better understand? Can we have some conversations about it? And then there may be aspects that they can mitigate or reduce the negative impact of. How can we plan ahead? How can we prepare for something that's not quite good so that we actually feel better about what we're doing? And then everything else is just goes in the accept bucket, as this reality cannot be changed. And in some cases, it may feel like the reality of what the organization is asking for cannot be changed. And so the question becomes is whether your obstacle to that is in you, or is it real? And have we had the opportunity to have a conversation about it so we can work on how we become forward focused? If you think about the green path from What Great Teams Do Great, first starts with the caring, honest, and direct conversation, communication, making sure we're listening to understand, which goes beyond just listening. Do we deeply understand what's happening? And then engage, align, learn, and coordinate, which does a heavy lift on that side. Let's make sure we share perspectives and let's forward focus on success. That was the Humanity Leadership Podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe and visit humanity.com for many more resources.